So I'm Maribeth. I live in Ashland. I'm originally from Geneva, so I'm from Nebraska. My husband is a farmer in Ashland, and so I am a stay-at-home mom. I have 2 kids, a 3-year-old little boy and a 1-year-old little girl. So I feel like my story is like kind of long and complicated. It's been a long journey, but you can do the first slide. Okay, so my journey started 7 years ago. So that's on the left. And that was about a year after I got married. And I graduated college, I got married, and I didn't really gain weight in college, it was afterwards. And so I got on my own health journey, and then within a year, I quit my desk job. I became a personal trainer, and yeah, I was a gym goer and I loved it. I loved like the people there, I loved my clients, but I was like never happy. I was very critical of myself. I was very obsessed about what I ate. I had like anxiety going to any event. I like tracked my water down to the last drop. Like it was not healthy. I was like the smallest I had ever been, the strongest I have ever been. I played sports growing up, like 8 through 18. Like I was on some team or another, playing softball, basketball, track, you name it. Yeah, it was. I just like you can see the picture. Like I don't know. I should have been a lot happier than I was. And I learned to work smarter and not harder. Because the picture on the right, that's after having 2 babies, gaining 40 plus pounds with both of them. And honestly, and working out at home. And if you would have asked the person on the left, like if it was even possible to feel the way I do, working out at home and after 2 kids, I would have laughed in their face. So you can go to the next slide. This is my transformation from, it's actually after both. So the left would be after my son, right is after my daughter. This is still a little bit of backstory. Sorry, I'm super nervous. The one on the So the one on the left, I had just had a baby. I tried to go to the gym. It was a traumatic experience for everybody in our house, especially Dad. So I came home and like it was not gonna work. Like I could not go to town. I live in a small town. Used to know everybody. It took at least 2 hours every time, and I couldn't do that. And my husband's a farmer. I don't know any farm wives, like, you don't know their schedule, you don't know when they're gonna be home, you don't know when they have to go to work. So I had to do something different. So you can see the background. My husband built me a gym at home. So that's where that's at. I started with hammer and chisel DVDs also, and after having a baby, that was difficult. But then I reached out to my now coach, and I was like, I need variety, but I don't want the shake, and I don't want anything else. I got all that. And so I plugged into some of the groups. I was active in them. I just did not do like the personal development. Like I did it once a week, maybe. So like you can see again, like I'm not smiling. I still wasn't really happy. And then on the right, this is about 2 years later. It's when I started coaching. I do my devotionals every day. I would drink energized like water. I drank my shake every day. And honestly, I have never had this level of confidence and like self-worth and self-love that I do now after having 2 kids. Also, I had gained another 45 pounds with my second one. Even with active pregnancies, like I still gained all the weight. So but both these pictures, I like to compare them because they're both 18 months after each of my children. So the left was 18 months after my son, right is 18 months after my daughter. And you can see the difference when you use the programs, how they're designed to be done, and the supplements that are recommended to you. Because I didn't really follow programs on the left, I didn't really do personal development, I didn't drink the shake, I didn't do anything else, and I didn't follow any nutrition, anything. On the right, I started coaching, I did all the things, and I'm the same weight in both of them. I'm the same pant size in both of them. But you can tell my body composition is just a little bit different. And I'm a lot stronger on the right. You can go to the next slide. So the other 2, they were just compared to the one on the right. So this 9 months pregnant, heaviest weight I had ever been. And then the end of MM100. Then I went on to do the ultimate reset and the work after the last picture, the last slide. So this is my 2019. I've now lost a total of 53 pounds. Went from pant size 13 to 6 or an 8, depending. And then this has been the only time I've ever in my life approached my health as not having a weight goal in mind, not having this number that was going to define me to show me value in my health. I approached it just to be like my best self, to be healthy, and to be healthy not just for me, but for all the ones around me. I completed 7 programs. And I ended the year doing the ultimate reset. I followed the nutrition, and I did portion control, and I did a little bit of 2B mindset, and then it kind of turned into intuitive eating by the end. But I'm trying to go through my notes, but I just was able to finally see that this works if you do, that if you, all the tools that you are given and you use them, that it works. And I just knew I had to do something. After my daughter, I went to go do a push-up, and I couldn't do a push-up on my knees. And I worked out the entire pregnancy and everything before, and I was just very defeated. So I knew my health was not where it should be. And so I had just used my health as a motivator and being the best mom that I could be. I want to be a strong mom, living healthy for my kids, and it was just very freeing to not have that weight goal, size goal as something to stress my life out. I didn't worry about killing myself in the gym or not eating anything to only not be able to maintain that and continue that in my life, because those just didn't work for me. But so it's kind of like the physical side of it all. This year, I'm going to talk about coaching too a little bit, because I started this year 2019, thinking my coaching was going to take off and do amazing things. But God definitely had something planned for me, because once I stopped breastfeeding, it was this week last year, I started to struggle with postpartum anxiety. like pretty bad. And I brushed it off for a long time thinking everything was just balancing out, and it would be fine. It would be fine. I kept telling myself that all year long. But I was to the point where I had zero energy, lived on caffeine, complete brain fog. I couldn't remember anything if I didn't write it down. And I would tell myself, I'm like, okay, I just gotta get through the day. I gotta take care of my kids, they gotta eat, gotta go down for naps, and then Dad will be home and it'll be good. Like, I had to tell myself that so many days. And our house was a disaster. The dishes weren't done. So I was like, there's no way I can, like coach and do all these other things. That was my focus. I had to have my health as my focus that year. And through it all, I really decided that even on the hard days, I was still gonna show up. So the days that sucked, I still showed up on social media, whether it was just showing my kids, my shake, my workout, that was it. Like, I still showed up, got my 8 stories in, 10 stories in, it was done. And it felt good, and it was holding me accountable to like keep putting my health first, because I could have easily just sat on the couch, did nothing, still felt bad. But I did not want that, and I wanted to be back to who I was. And so I just knew that when I woke up, drink Energize, and sweat in the morning, that the worry and the anxious feeling that I may have, like, it was not as bad. And so every day I would push myself just a little bit more, and it helped. I couldn't imagine this year without just even doing those little things. And then I found my soulmate. Workout program is the work. I love the work. And I just could push myself so hard, and I would just sweat, and I didn't think about anything. And it was so good. And it was, like, I'm ready to do it again. But, okay, and then the last thing, I ended on the ultimate reset. I had been trying, it wasn't like a constant everyday situation at that point, but I knew I was not myself. I knew I just was not, it's not how I used to be. And I did the ultimate reset, and the first week was hard. Like, I don't know if anybody's ever done the ultimate reset, but the first week was so hard. Caffeine withdrawals were okay, but like, I could feel my hormones balancing out, and I was like in pain, like physical pain. I was so sore. And I don't think I was even that sore during the work. Like, it was crazy. But I knew I needed to do it, and I knew that it was going to benefit me greatly, and it did. And I feel so much better, and I learned like foods that if I cut out of my diet, guess what? My hormones and my anxiety and things, just everything was so much clearer for me. And I just listened to a podcast not that long ago. I think it was your virtual upline, and he talked about the 3 main goals that you should do to like set new goals for 2020. And I was listening to it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I did not do anything I wanted to in 2019. I mean, I hit a couple rank advancements, which is awesome, but I had this vision that I was going to be so much farther. But he tells you to go back, reflect on your last year, and see what you did accomplish. And even though my business goals didn't get met, my personal journey was what I really had to focus on, and that is I conquered so much in 2019 that it was just exactly what I needed. I needed to focus on my own journey. I had to address my postpartum anxiety. I needed to get control of my life again, and I knew what I was capable of. I knew that my body could get back to feeling good again, to feeling the best I could. I had all these tools that were provided to me. I was a trainer, like I just had all this knowledge that I knew I could use. And so I felt a little more relieved thinking back, like I did accomplish at least that. Even though that like my coaching journey did not go where I wanted it to. This year was a building year for me and my health and my personal journey to get to where this year is going to be better. And I ended the year 50 pounds lighter and no longer weighed down by the burdens of my postpartum anxiety. My husband and kids have been so helpful this year, and we've grown together, and they were there through it all. And on the days I wanted to give up, I reminded myself that I was doing it for them. They need an exceptional wife and mom, and without the discipline to better my health, my own health, that they wouldn't have someone who's even close to that today. I am strong for them, my team and my girls, and so thankful that they helped me to continue on this journey every single day. And so I went to my first Super Saturday, and this was like my favorite thing. I'll set this down. My favorite thing that they did, because before joining my own team, like I didn't think it worked. I didn't think at-home programs worked, and they did this, and you could just like see how it's changed so many people. So this is like when you stand up and for how much weight you've lost and everything. But I did want to start with, because this year it started with not being able to do a single push-up on my knees. I want everyone to stand up who has become stronger, or maybe gained weight because your goal wasn't to lose weight. Just if you become stronger on your journey through Beachbody, please stand up. And any way forward. Yay! Round of applause. Okay, you guys can sit down. And now, if you've lost a single pound using Beachbody, using your products, programs, anything. 1 pound, anything. Yay. Okay, let's keep going again. So, 10 pounds. 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, I'm going to do, and just what is one tip that you can give everyone to be consistent? There you go. I like that one. You have one? Any tip? Be consistent. I love that. That's why I tell my girls all the time. Just gotta show up. Love it. Okay.
My tip would be just remember the alternative is back to where that's how I keep going. Either I can go back to how I was, or I keep pushing forward and changing and doing better. So pick a lane.
Love it. Yay. Awesome. Okay, yeah, this is always something that really moved me and just made me so emotional thinking about like all the lives that were changed.